Hey, I'm Tyler with Bikerumor.com, and sitting here with Rebecca Rusch, pro mountain biker, who came in second today. We're at the Cowbell Challenge in North Carolina. It's a marathon race today. Tomorrow is the U.S. Mountain Bike Cup cross-country race, and it is ridiculously hot today.
Do you know what the temperature was? What it topped out at?
Pushing 100 easy.
Yeah, 100. I mean,
and
effing hot.
the good old southeastern humidity
Yeah.
too, unlike the West Coast. But other than the heat, what did you think of the course?
The course is super fun. This is my third year back to Taylor's races, and he does a really good job with a small space and lots of fun, windy single track. That's always a big challenge for me. And where I live in Idaho, and we don't have this slimy roots and rocks and, you know, this kind of riding, so it's really good actually practice for me, even though it's frustrating to come and do this style of riding and really try to hone my skills a little more. And the course was awesome. It just, the heat was massive, and I had to actually really manage heat stroke and be really careful and pull it back a notch, you know.
Yeah, and somehow it seems like every year he manages to eke out another mile to the course magically.
Yeah, he adds new course every year. He adds rock gardens. He's really creative with the courses that he does. They're really fun.
Yeah, cool. So you went from rock climbing to adventure racing and now mountain biking. You know, you're world champion and national champion 24-hour racer. So do you still do adventure races, or is it just mountain biking?
You know, the last few years has been almost exclusively mountain biking, just because that's what's presented itself. I get a few little invites to adventure race here and there, and actually have a good invite this year, so I might do Primal Quest, which is a pretty big one. But mostly the focus has been on the bike, and it's been easier to get to races and squeak out a living, and the bike thing's all new. It's fun.
Cool. And I noticed on your website, we were talking about this earlier, is the website's kind of last thing to get updated, but this is shown as the last race of the year. Do you have more races this year?
Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, the main focus is 24-hour World Championships, and that's in 4 weeks. So from here, I'll go to Breckenridge for the Firecracker 50, which is also part of the same series, USAC Endurance Series, and it's the Marathon Nationals. And then 2 weeks after that is 24-hour Worlds in Canmore, and hopefully go for a three-peat on two-time world champion. So yeah, going for the third.
Cool. Good luck there.
Although today I was having serious doubts, just like, oh man, this is only a 50-mile race, and I'm glad it wasn't 51 miles.
Yeah, and you mentioned the girl at beach. You kind of had to let her go because of the heat. As far as competitors on the starting line, is there somebody that you really love to see on the starting line of the races you do every time?
You know, every time I come to this region, Carrie Lowry is always, I mean, I never take her for granted. We've raced together a lot, and she's always right there. She's a super solid racer, and she's from here, so I think the heat perhaps didn't get to her as much as it did to me today. I don't know. And then there were some unknown people, and I don't ever count anybody out, you know, because I was an unknown.
Right.
So. Cool. You never know.
Yeah, and you've been all over the world. You live in Idaho now. You're racing here in the southeast today.
Yeah.
Or raced here today. You've been all over the world for different events. What's the most amazing place you've been?
For riding bikes?
Anything. Yeah, sure. Racing, riding.
Oh man. Kyrgyzstan was a pretty cool place. I went to Kyrgyzstan for the Regawaz, which is a 7-day long adventure race, kind of the Mac Daddy of adventure racing. But I've been everywhere. I've been New Zealand, you know, Sweden, all over the world. It's been awesome. But the thing that you realize is people are the same everywhere. They love to ride their bikes. They love to do sports, and whether you're in the southeast or, you know, in Asia or wherever, it's always the same kind of bond, and you feel like you're part of a family in a way. So. But Canmore, I would say Canmore for riding bikes was pretty amazing in Canada. It's right near Banff and Lake Louise, and that's some cool riding too.
Cool.
And where I live, that's the best place, Idaho.
So I've heard. So
it's awesome.
Is it hard focusing on the competition when you go somewhere new, or do you get time before or after the race to go check out the city and the culture?
In this situation, I'm not getting much time. I have to fly home tomorrow for work, and but it depends. Like Canmore, I'll stay 10 days. I'll get into the, you know, stay there, ride the course a bunch, and So it just depends in the season. Later in the season, I'll be able to take more kind of fun races, like I'll go to Ecuador for a bike race and Brazil for a bike race. And in those situations, yeah, I definitely stay and check out the scene and hang out, yeah.
Cool.
But there's a party tonight too. There's a movie, I guess, and so I'll be here for that.
Yeah, Freedom Riders or
yeah.
Tonight. Cool. How many A-level races do you do a year? The ones where you really want to peak for?
One. This year, one.
Which one is that? The Worlds?
Yeah.
Cool. What's the hardest workout you do?
Riding in the rain this spring has been the hardest workout I do. It's been super rainy spring, so like heading out on the road bike, putting the booties on, you know, when it's 40 and raining is mentally, that's pretty hard. Those are hard days. But I do a lot of intervals, a lot of long rides, road and mountain bike intervals, do some running.
Do it all?
I don't know, do a little bit of everything, yeah. But there's days that are easy and days that are hard, and sometimes the motivation training alone, or the weather's bad, and people always say, oh, it's great, you're a bike racer, but I have to go to work days that I don't want to go to work, you know, and do a workout on my schedule that doesn't seem that fun, so. But hopefully it all pays off later.
So after the hard workout, what's your guilty little pleasure?
You know, I always do a recovery drink. Hammer recovery drink is pretty much standard. And this spring I've been, it's strawberry recovery drink, and I've been mixing it with hot cocoa. That's my new little, when I'm cold, coming back in from a ride, nice and warm. Seems weird to be cold when we're sitting here in 100 degrees, but yeah, no, the Hammer recovery drink, and I like to make homemade pizza and get into cooking a little bit, and yeah, a bit of everything.
Cool. Where's your favorite trail?
Idaho.
Which one?
Right outside my door.
Private trail, or is it something
No, there's so much good riding, but probably Adams Gulch, right where I live, you know, and right on the ski resort, you can ride right from my house. There's multiple choices, and it's pretty amazing single track there. Don't tell anybody though.
All right, yeah, we won't tell anyone. So, adventure racing, now mountain biking, then what's next for you?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I don't know what my next transformation will be. Maybe enduro motorcycle racing. I just got 2 bikes, and a dirt bike and a kind of enduro bike, so maybe that'll be the next thing, motorcycle racing.
Very cool.
I don't know.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, no
let's
problem.
Check out the bike.
Thanks, all right. We specialize in Red Bull, and this is the S-Works Era that I rode today. My new favorite bike. It's a 2009, and it weighs 21.5 pounds, as you see it here, which is pretty cool. Let's see. Basic idea with the bike is that it's got brain suspension in both the front and the rear, and so essentially it'll ride like a hardtail until you hit a bump from the bottom. So it doesn't take the input from me on the top, it just takes the input on the bottom. So basically I don't have to think about it because I have 2 brains, and pretty much today I needed those 2 brains because I wasn't thinking about much. SRAM grip shift, Juicy Ultimate, Avid Juicy Ultimate brakes, specialized bar ends. And my other bike, I kind of rotate between grip shift and trigger shift. So for a 24-hour race, I'll have one bike set up with grip and one with trigger so that my hands get a break because they get tired. Bike Pure, this is a drug-free organization. That's what that little top cap is about. What else can I tell you? Specialized helmet, custom logoed by Red Bull. Let's see, this is the Phenom saddle, and they come in different widths depending on how wide your sit bones are, so you can go get those measured. And I put on the Captain tires today, a little bit more knobby. I usually run fast tracks a lot, but the course was so slippery and muddy that I need a little more traction. So after pre-ride yesterday, I put these on. The Captains are really great all-around tire. And let's see. SRAM basically on the drivetrain. I do run rotor rings, so those are not completely round. So since I'm a masher, this helps me even out my pedal stroke, and I love them. They've been great. I've been using them about a year now. Crank Brothers pedals, great for mud, best pedals out there. And yeah, the bike did well today. It was just me that got to the heat, hence the popsicle. But yeah, no mechanicals. It was awesome. I didn't bring a backup bike today, so was good. It did the job.